Coming up on the Hot Coffee and Chingasos podcast, we're talking hobby horses. Yes, we're talking about air guitar championships. What? And last but not least, we're talking about cheese rolling. Stay tuned. Coming at you. All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Hot Coffee and Chingasos podcast, the only podcast where you get your daily caffeine that comes with a side of chaos. I'm your host, D-Flow. Man, and today, oh boy, we're galloping straight into the absurd, the craziness, the weird stuff. Some of the stuff you don't talk about, but you see on TV sometimes. We're talking hobby horses. Yes. Adults riding wooden sticks like it's the Olympics. Oh, man. We're tumbling headfirst into cheese rolling because apparently chasing a giant or stupid-ass giant wheel of cheese down a hill is entertainment. And last but not least, we're shredding invisible guitars at the Air Guitar Championships. Yes, there is a place where people pretend that they have a guitar while listening to music and doing the best air guitar solo that they can. They probably don't even know how to use it, but that's proving that you don't need strings to rock. You just need your confidence. All right, let's grab our coffee, hold on to our dignity, and let's dive into the weird and wild and wonderfully ridiculous world of extreme silliness. On the surface, hobby horsing looks absolutely stupid. Just dumb if you look at it. And, well, for the most part, as Gen Xers see it, yes, or any kind of millennials, they're like, yeah, it's really stupid. But it's not catered to us. It's a group of teens sprinting. It's mainly Gen Zers, of course. And they're prancing and jumping over hurdles while holding a plush horse head on a stick. Hey, at least I don't have to spend money on feeding these horses. It's like someone messed up an equestrian a sport or cosplay during recess. They're like, hey, yep, let's do that. Let's ride around with a stick in between legs and the horse head holding on and jumping around. And somebody else probably said, yep, that's a sport now. I'm like, hold on. I need to laugh because this is the stupidest thing I have ever seen. But you know, it doesn't go without its facts. So, like I said, it looks dumb because as us adults, we forget to have fun. Kids have been doing it forever because, you know, why they're kids, right? Hobby horsing, that's the name of the sport, is basically imagination with cardio. Yeah, and they get all the chicks, right? Adult side, we didn't understand it, and we decided it must be stupid. Meanwhile, the hobby horsers, yes, that is a word, horsers, meaning the people who are on the hobby horse, are out doing their legit athletic footwork. I mean, they're getting their cardio in and choreography, or we're pulling up. Well, I sit on the chair and I pull my hamstring just getting up. You know, I'm just saying, you know, as an old person, it looks like it hurts jumping over. But I guess when we're younger, it was easy. But apparently it's really hard to do. I mean, you're jumping over a hurdle at full speed while pretending you're a stallion that makes insane coordination. You know, people clown it, but most can't even hop a curb without an injury report. You know, I've seen people try to just jump a curb and they break their ankles, but these people are jumping over gates, and it's just, I mean, yes, it's ridiculous. Like I said, I'm going to say it a lot. Their passion is real. These competitors, they train apparently. They build custom horse heads. They've got rules, competitions, routines. They even got judges. I'm sure the judges are the ones from the actual, you know, horse jumping. They want to make sure they get it right. But it's basically figure skating with an imaginary livestock. If you think about it that way, it's a little unconventional. The only reason it seems stupid, again, because it's unconventional and we're not used to it. I mean, come on. How is it just weird? You know, people think it's weird. Is it as weird as back in the 70s when people collected rocks? You know, stupid people actually bought a pet rock. Some guy decided, you know what, I'm going to get this rock, I'm going to sell it, and I'll make millions of dollars. And he did, because there's a lot of stupid people. But people collect rocks. They build model trains. They pay thousands for fantasy football leagues. Come on, you're screaming at a TV screen with dudes in padded pants. But hobby horsing, everybody draws the line there. Nope, I'm sorry, we cannot do that. But honestly, the world needs more harmless, stupid, things. So, like I said, it is dumb, but you get your exercise and imagination going.
Wait a minute. What is this I'm hearing about you youngins riding on fake horses sticks and jumping?
Yes, that's true. We just spoke about that.
Why can't they ride real horses? Are they scared? Do I need to show them how to ride one? Hoof-hearted is ready.
No, sorry. We are ready. Like I said, like I said, and I already spoke about this.
All right. Well, can I leave y'all with a silly joke?
Okay, shoot, whatever. Come on, hurry up. Got a show to run.
Why did the hobby horse refuse to race? Because it didn't want to make a fool out of its imaginary legs.
Ha! Oh, man. What a hilarious joke. I've always said you should be a comedian. You know that, Tex?
Well, sir, your sarcasm is a joke. It needs more work. Bye.
Later, Tex. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Big Tex again. Hopefully he doesn't come around and bother me anymore, because we got the show to run. Woo-wee! Next up is the stupidity of cheese rolling. And I'm not talking about people, making cheese. I'm talking about rolling cheese downhill. We spoke about silly horses and exercise. Now comes the chaotic, aggressive, unnecessary sport that feels like humanity collectively said, let's do something that guarantees an injury. I'm talking about cheese rolling. Yes, sir, I am. The annual tradition where grown-ass adults chase a runaway wheel of cheese down a hill that looks like it was just made by Satan himself. He's like,
and let's have these guys run down the hill and break every bone in their body.
So let me break it down for you. First of all, this hill that they throw it down, it just isn't like steep. No. It's practically vertical. You look at it and your body automatically goes, yo, bro, we're not built for this. The wheel shoots down the hill like it's late for work, man. It's hauling ass. That thing hits speeds cars get tickets for. And what do the lovely competitors do? I'll let you guys think about that. Give you a couple seconds. They chase it. On foot, of course, down the hill, like it makes any kind of sense. Oh, my goodness. You have people just flipping, tumbling, they're bouncing, losing control of all their limbs, and it looks like somebody tipped over a box of human action figures and let gravity finish the job. They're like, here they come. All right, let's crack some skulls, break some bones. And for what? A wheel of cheese? Really? They don't play for money, not even for glory, not even a championship ring. I could see it should have been played for money. Like if you grab the cheese wheel while it's rolling, you get money for it. But no, it's just a dairy product. It's made by a cow. You can just go to the store and buy a wheel of cheese or even pieces of cheese. Who cares? People out there be getting concussions, spraining ankles, walking away looking like they just got their ass kicked in a bar fight with gravity. But all for what? They can hold up that wheel of cheese like Mufasa did with Simba on Pride Rock from that one cartoon movie with lions. I don't want to say it because I'm not endorsing it. But the best part is the cheese always wins. Nobody actually catches it. Nobody catches the cheese at all. The cheese is what? Undefeated. It should have its own interest music, kind of like wrestling and stuff, And the crowd, they're cheering like they're watching the Super Bowl because deep down, humans are animals. We don't want sportsmanship. We want chaos. We're drawn to drama. We love that stuff. We want to watch a man from Wisconsin somersault 40 miles an hour down a British hillside chasing a wheel of cheddar. Now, does that make sense? But, like I said, the winner, that one person who somehow arrives at the bottom without dissolving any body parts, they're able to walk away, gets interviewed like they just achieved greatness. They're out of breath, of course, because they're trying to hold in for dear life. They're covered in grass, possibly missing a tooth or two of them. Who knows? Maybe their front teeth for biting the dirt, really hard. And they're there saying like, yeah, well, I threw myself off the hill for cheese. Anyways, shout out to my mom, my family. I got the cheese, Mom. Coming home. Fortunately, this sport exists because at some point in history, someone said, hey, you see that there giant hill over there? What if we threw food down it and chased it on our face? Nobody said no. No one said, no, let's not do that. Let's just eat our food here. Nah, man, crazy people will be like, let's do it. And that, my friends, is the true stupidity of cheese rolling. It's dumb, it's dangerous, and pointless. But it's peak human behavior because why? Humans love drama. And honestly, I wouldn't change a thing on there. That stuff is funny as hell, especially when you see them all broken up. I'm sure you all seen it on social media videos or even on YouTube videos, stuff like that. So stay tuned because next we're talking about more sports that prove evolution took a lunch break when we come back on the Hot Coffee and Chingasos podcast.
Are you trying to keep up with the next big thing on social media? Introducing the Challenge, the world's first challenge about doing challenges. With the Challenge, you no longer need to decide which viral trend to join. We send you a daily prompt like balance a toaster on your head while reciting your credit score. Cry on camera, but make it aesthetic. Pretend you discovered a new fruit. You don't need skill, you don't need talent, you just need desperation and engagement. Sign up now and get a free ring light that only works when you're emotionally vulnerable. The Challenge, stop scrolling, start embarrassing yourself professionally.
All right, we're back. Thank you for the Challenge commercial. We appreciate it. Last but not least, dun, 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, a sport that proves humans will competitively do anything, and I do mean anything, if you put a spotlight on it. A sport so ridiculous, so profoundly unnecessary, it dances on the edge of genius and stupidity. I'm talking about the air guitar championships. First of all, these competitors walk onto the stage with confidence of someone who actually has a guitar. They strut out like rock legends, except their hands are empty. And, well, they put all their dignity on the line somewhere backstage, I don't know, probably on a shelf. And they're pacing nervously. The crowd is screaming like they're at a heavy metal concert. You'd think a real musician is about to start shredding, but nope. Instead, we got a man in skinny jeans aggressively just strumming oxygen. Yep, the stuff we breathe, your fingers can pluck and make apparently sounds or not. And the judges, well, they're sitting there taking notes like, yeah, great finger positioning on that imaginary fretboard. Man, they're doing fantastic. I've never seen some strumming like that before.
That's correct.
Oh, God. It's got excellent distortion on that non-existent amp. Stage pressure, 10 out of 10, even though he's holding absolutely nothing. Bro, how can you award points for technique when the instrument doesn't even exist? That's what I don't get. That is the beauty apparently in it. It's so stupid. This is like judging a competitive imaginary friend wrestling. Yeah. And here he comes and he does a tombstone and, I don't know. And the performers, they go actually, they really take it seriously. They go hard. You know what I'm saying? Man, they do full windmills, high kicks, the tongue out with their They're channeling metal gods. Some don't even do a guitar phase. You know the one. I'm hitting such a nasty riff that the universe is gonna explode. Face. Only to themselves, of course, because you know what? It's so stupid again. Except there's no riff, there's no guitar, no sound. I don't even care. They're tearing up the fabric of reality with pure vibes. Just vibrations, man. I'm telling you, man. These guys got it going. There's the dramatic finish coming up at the end. They drop to their knees, flinging their invisible guitar into the invisible audience and collapse like they just performed a solo from Stairway to Heaven. Oh my God. I can't believe there's such a stupid thing like this. I swear. Oh, I swear that these humanity is done for. We are all done for, from the hobby horsing to the cheese rolling. You know what I'm saying? People are waving, people, I think people are just losing it. Like the crowd in the air guitar championships, they're just losing their minds. People are waving signs, they're cheering, they're crying, clapping for someone who just played silence with passion. And the winners, well, again, just like the cheese rolling, they get interviewed, and then they get interviewed just like, they think they cured cancer or any kind of disease. They'd be like, yeah, man, I've been practicing for 4 hours a day and nonstop. My hands are bleeding, I'm sweating, really working on my imaginary, sweet picking from my imaginary guitar. My fingers, they hurt. The arthritis is kicking in, but hey, man, that's what we got to do at the end of the day. Shout out to my imaginary band. My imaginary band. Oh my God, it's so stupid. Agoosh. This is the only sport where the equipment costs nothing, weighs nothing, and doesn't even exist. But somehow the injuries are real because people throw themselves off stages for some stupid dramatic effect. Oh, and the best part is that the official rules of air guitar championships, you must pretend to play guitar. You can't play a horn. You cannot play the drums. It has to be a guitar. No real instruments allowed because, that would be frowned upon. You must act like the guitar is real. Are you serious? All that? That ain't the dumbest piece of, that I've ever heard. Is just ridiculous. It kind of reminds me of back in the day when Guitar Hero was out. At least you had a guitar and you can press buttons and stuff to play the game. But still people complain because it's not a real guitar. And I agree.
That's correct.
And a lot of, artists, they prefer it, obviously. And I agree. And I agree again, because nothing beats real music. Not electronic push button music. A push. I need a guitar. Press this button. No, don't work that way. So that means if you show up with an actual guitar, they'll kick you out. That's part of the rules. Imagine being banned from a guitar competition for bringing a real guitar. That's the beauty of it. So remember, think with your head. And that's the stupidity of air guitar. It's absurd. It's illogical. It's peak human delusion. But people love it. Because at the end of the day, humans will cheer for anything you put on stage and with smoke machines, But I digress, as I say before. If you liked listening to the silliness of stupid sports, please laugh, subscribe to Hot Coffee and Chingasos podcast on YouTube, Spotify, RSS feeds, and Apple Podcasts. If you have any comments, questions, or topics you'd like to hear, drop me a line at hotcoffeeandchingasos@gmail.com. Okay, no more silliness. I got to go play with my air guitar. I'm going to go ride hoof-hearted, play my air guitar, and ride into that sunset. I'm out!